My grandmother kept telling me the same story every time I visited, and I finally understood why during my last visit. Every Sunday for 6 years, I drove 2 hours to visit my grandmother Ruth at Meadowbrook Senior Living. She'd raised me after my parents died when I was 8, and I'd promised her I'd never abandon her the way her own kids had. The visits followed the same pattern. I'd arrive at noon with her favorite lemon cookies. She'd smile, offer me tea, and we'd sit in her small room while she told me stories. The problem was, they were always the same stories. The same 5 stories, actually. The one about how she met my grandfather at a sock hop in 1954. The one about my mother trying to eat an entire watermelon. The one about the neighbor's dog that learned to open gates. The one about her first job at a telephone switchboard. The one about making my mother's wedding dress by hand. At first, I'd gently remind her she'd told me these stories before. She'd laugh and say, well, they're good stories worth repeating. So I stopped mentioning it and just listened. Every Sunday, same 5 stories. I mentioned it to the nurses. She's 87, they said. Some repetition is normal. I told my aunts. That's just old age, they said. Don't worry about it. But I did worry, because the stories weren't just repeating. They were the only stories. She never mentioned what she'd eaten for breakfast or what she'd watched on TV. Just those same 5 stories from decades ago. Like her mind was stuck in a loop. 6 months ago, I arrived for our Sunday visit and something was different. Ruth was in bed instead of sitting in her chair. A nurse was checking her vitals. She had a small episode this morning. The doctor wants to talk to you before you leave. I spent the visit like normal, listening to the watermelon story, then the sock hop story. Ruth seemed tired but happy. When visiting hours ended, I met with Dr. Patterson in his office down the hall. I'm not sure how much you know about your grandmother's condition, he started. My stomach dropped. What condition? Dr. Patterson looked confused. The facility didn't inform you? Ruth has advanced stage dementia. She's had it for at least 4 years. The room tilted. 4 years? I've been visiting every week. Nobody told me she had dementia. I apologize. There must have been a communication breakdown. He showed me imaging scans, explained the deterioration. I barely heard him. All I could think about was those 5 stories. Why does she only remember those specific stories? I asked. Dementia patients often retain long-term memories while losing short-term memory formation. Those 5 stories are probably the last strong memories her brain consolidated before the disease progressed. Everything after that, her brain can't hold on to, including you. What do you mean, including me? When you visit, your grandmother doesn't remember your previous visits. She doesn't remember you brought her lemon cookies every week for 6 years. To her, every visit is the first visit in a very long time. I felt sick. So when I leave and she says, please visit again soon, she thinks I won't. The disease has progressed significantly. We're estimating she has 6 to 8 weeks before she won't recognize faces at all. I went back to Ruth's room. She was awake, staring at the ceiling. When she saw me, she smiled. Oh, hello, dear. Are you here to visit? Grandma, it's me, your grandson. I visit every Sunday. She looked confused. That's so sweet of you. I don't get many visitors anymore. I pulled out my phone, showed her photos of us together. She looked at them like she was seeing a stranger. These are lovely, but I don't remember taking these pictures. I started crying. Ruth reached over and patted my hand. Don't cry, dear. Whatever's troubling you, it'll be okay. 4 weeks later, I arrived for my Sunday visit and found Ruth's room empty. A nurse was crying at the station. She passed peacefully last night. We tried to call you, but your number wasn't in the family contact list. Only your aunt's. I found out later that Ruth had asked for me in her final hours. Not by name, because she couldn't remember it. She described me as the kind boy who brings me lemon cookies. They called my aunts instead. Neither answered. I never got to say goodbye. But I'm grateful for those 6 years of Sundays when she told me the same 5 stories, because now I understand those weren't random memories she was stuck repeating. Those were the stories she chose to hold on to when her brain started letting everything else go. The day she met her soulmate. Her daughter's childhood. Small joys. Those were the stories that mattered most to her, and I got to hear them 312 times.